Scenario. Today we'll solve a new exam 2023 this year about calculus and integration. Look at with me about question number 1. If f of x equal x power 3 subtract 3x minus 1, then the function has a local minimum value as a point equal space. He asked about what the value at the point local minimum. We must find f dash of x, derivative about this function, and then put this derivative equal 0, and you can factorize the result to find x equal what, local minimum, and put the result in the f of x about function. We know f of x equal x power 3 subtract 3x minus 1. Then f dash of x, derivative of this function, will be 3x power 2 minus 3. We must put this function equal 0. Put this function equal 0, then x power 3 equal 1. We can divide it by 3. Then x will be equal positive or negative 1. Then we can searching about straight line, negative 1 and 1. Solve about this equation. F dash of x equal 0 at x equal 1 and negative 1. We must write like sign here positive and positive, and here would be negative. It will be increasing and here decreasing and here increasing. Here asked about local minimum value about x equal what, x equal 1. At x equal 1 we can find the image of f1 in this function, because he asked about what the local minimum value at the point. Asked to the point, you must put x equal 1 in the function to find the image about x equal 1, then y equal, we must write x equal 1 here, 1 minus f of 1 equal 1 power 3 equal 1, subtract 3 subtract by 1 equal negative 3. Then the point would be 1 and negative 3. We must choose letter C about this question. The result will be 1 and negative 3. Okay, choose letter C. Question number 2, integration about this function. E power cotan x multiplication cosec power 2x dx. We know this function e power cotan x, derivative of power here, it will be negative cosec power 2x. Then we must multiplication negative by this function here and negative. Okay, then the function here will be e power cotan x multiplication power cotan x multiplication derivative about this power will be negative cosec power x. Then we can cancel the derivative here and write the function in the original here, negative e power cotan x plus constant. The result. Why? Because the derivative about negative e cotan x, it will be what, negative e cotan power x, e power cotan x multiplication negative cosec power 2x. We have in this example function and derivative about the power. If we have function and derivative about the power about e, so function e power cotan x, derivative about power will be negative cosec power 2x. Then we can cancel this derivative about power and write the original function here. It will be negative cotan negative e power cotan x. Okay, then the result will be what? Look at the result will be me. The result will be choose letter A. Question 3, we want to find integration about this function lim root of x dx. We can find the integration about this function about using vertical integration. We know root x meaning x power half, so we can write len x power half dx, and we can write half outside this function here. It will be half integration about len of x dx. Okay, and then we can choose function here equal y equal len of x, and dz equal dx, and this function we can find the integration about one of them and derivative about another. We have here len of x derivative about this function, it will be y dash or dy equal 1 over x dx. We can write 1 over x because derivative about x equal 1, and this function we can write integration about dz, it will be z, integration about dx equal x, and then using the rule about this result multiplication y times z subtract by integration about z multiplication dy. Okay, then you can write here about this integration will be equal ln x multiplication by x ln x. Okay, look at here this function integration about we have half here outside ln x dx. We can solve ln x multiplication x, right, ln x multiplication by x and write half outside here ln x multiplication by x subtract by integration about x multiplication 1 over x dx. Again, the first step we must find the multiplication about ln x and x. Okay, ln x multiplication by x subtract by integration about x and 1 over x dx here, and then you can simplify it. We have here half outside, then you can write half here x multiplication by ln x. Okay, half you can use in distributive properties about this coefficient here, half about first term and half multiplication second term. It will be x multiplication 1 over x, it will be 1 dx, and you know integration about 1 dx it will be x. Then you can write here half distributive this number, half multiplication integration about 1 it will be x, and we can write the result is the simplest form. Okay, we can write x outside coefficient and half. You can write half here and x coefficient between two terms, and the result between by first term here will be what? Will be x outside here, then the result will be ln x plus integration about 1 it will be x, right here 1 plus 1. But this result we can find this result in the choosing here, but you can write 1 here equal what? Write 1 ln e. We can write 1 here ln e, and then we can divide them. Okay, look at with me here. I will write half x outside multiplication by ln of x multiplication ln e, because ln e equal 1, and we can find the result by divided x by e. Write half multiplication by x multiplication by ln x over e. X over e, it's the result about this example. We used properties about ln x plus ln e, it's meaning x over e, ln x over e multiplication by half, and the result will be half ln x over e. So we must choose the third D about this example. Question number 4. The slope of the tangent of the curve y equal tan theta and x equal cotan theta at the point 2 and half equal space. He gives us in the example here y equal tan of theta, y equal tan theta, and we have x equal cotan theta. We can find derivative y by theta, dy over or derivative y of theta equal derivative about tan theta equal what? Equal sec power 2 of x, or theta. Derivative about tan equal sec power 2 theta, and derivative x of theta negative derivative about cotan equal negative cosec square theta, negative cosec power 2 theta. Again, derivative about tan sec power 2 theta, and derivative about cotan theta equal negative cosec power 2 theta. He asked about what the tangent or the slope about the tangent to the curve, we must find dy over dx by divided dy over d theta divided by dx by d theta. We can write here sec power 2 theta divided negative cosec power 2 theta. We can write here negative up, and sec power 2 theta is reverse about cosine power 2 theta, and cosec power 2 theta is about sine power 2 theta. We know sine divided by cosine equal tan, then the result will be negative tan power 2 theta. Okay, the result about this example. He asked about what? The slope. Look at here, negative tan power 2 theta, it's what? It's y power 2, because y equal tan theta. Let here y power 2 and write negative, because tan theta equal y, and y equal tan theta. We can cancel tan theta and write y power 2 and negative outside here. And then at the point t and half, we can put y equal half here. Then the slope will be what? Negative 1 over 4. But y equal half, half power 2 equal 1 over 4. Then the result will be what? Negative 1 over 4 or negative fourth. Result p. Choose the letter p. Find limit this function at x equal approximating to 0. We can write e power 2x minus 1 over x and write the rule about this limited x approximating to 0, e power 2x minus 1 over x plus limited when x approximating to 0, tan ax over x. The result about this function will be x or a, and this function e power 2x minus 1 over x, it will be what? It will be 2. Okay, it's the rule. Do you know this rule or not? Limited e power x minus 1 over x equal 1. But if we have 2 here behind x or coefficient of x, the result will be 2. Okay, the result will be here 2 plus a. And this example, he gives the result 1. Look at here. He tell me the result equal 1 and ask it about a. So we must write a here a equal what? A equal 1 minus 2 equal negative 1, because the result equal 1. Then the value of a equal negative 1. Question 6. If y equal f of x is a function, its curve passing through the point or the original point where dy over dx or dx over y. Here he writes the inverse about the slope. Okay, 1 over 2x plus 1 for all points of the curve. Then y equal. He asked about what? Y. He tell us the function its curve passing through the original point. Okay, we can find the function about this derivative by integration. We know dx over dy equal 1 over 2x plus 1. Using properties, the product of extremes equal product of means about this function. 1 times dy here, and 2x plus 1 multiplication by dx, and write integration by left hand side and right hand side. Integration about 2x plus 1 here, it will be x power 2 divided by 2, cancel 2 by 2, it will be x power 2 plus x plus constant equal y. He asked about the result of y. Look at here, this curve passing through the original point. Then we can write x equals 0 and y equals 0 in this equation to find constant. 0 plus 0, let x equals 0 here, and constant here equal y equals 0. Then the constant equals 0. Put c equals 0 here, you can find y will be x power 2 plus x. This is the result about this function. Choose x power 2 plus x, letter P. Choose letter P. Question 6. Okay, letter B. Question 7. The area of the original bounded the curve y equal x power 2 minus 9 and the straight line x equal 4 above x-axis equal. Okay, he asked about the part above x-axis and the curve about this function y equal x power 2 subtract by 9, we can write vertex about this curve here 0 and negative 9. The curve, look about this example, put x equals 0, then y equal negative 9 here, negative 9, and we can draw this function here, the curve about this function. And he asked about above x-axis and straight line x equal 4. X equal 4 here. Look at here, I will draw this curve here, such that here, and x equal 4. This straight line x equal 4 here. We must know this point, and the next step, by find this point, you can find this area, because he asked about the area about regional bounded the curve y equal x power 2 minus 9 and the straight line x equal 4 above x-axis here. We must find this point by put this function equal 0. If you want to find the 2 point such that the curve intersection the straight line, we must put y equal 0. Put y equal 0 here. 0 equal x power 2 minus 9, then x power 2 equal 9, so x equal positive or negative 3. Then this point will be 3 and 0. Okay, so the area will be integration from 3 to 4. 3 here and 4. And we can write up, subtract by down. The curve up, subtract the curve down. This curve, we must know this function about the curve y equal x power 2 minus 9. Write x power 2 minus 9 dx. Okay, and then you can use the calculator to find the result about this function. Let's determine integration. We can find using calculator to find the result. It will be 10 over 3. 10 over 3. It's the area. Choose letter D. Question 8. We will find integration about this function. Cosine 2x over sine x minus cosine x power 2 all dx. We can cancel cosine 2x in this function by using the rule. We know cosine 2x, it will be what? It will be sine. Here we can write cosine power 2x subtract by sine power 2x, or you can using any rule about this function. Okay, first I will solve the denominator here, and if you want to find the result about denominator, thinking about numerator. Okay, sine power 2x here, subtract 2 sine x cosine x plus cosine power 2x all the x. We know cosine power 2x and sine power 2x. Here sine power 2x plus cosine power 2x equal 1, and cosine 2x here, such that we know cosine 2x equal cosine power 2x subtract sine power 2x, or 2 cosine power 2x subtract by 1, or 1 subtract 2 sine power 2x. Okay, so this term, or this expression in the denominator, we can put it here. Don't write rule or find the result about power about this function. Write here sine x subtract cosine x power 2. Why? Because cosine 2x, we can write this rule here in the top here, cosine power 2x minus sine power 2x, and we can factorize this term. We can factorize cosine power 2x subtract sine power 2x to what? Cosine x minus sine x multiplication by cosine x plus sine x. Again, I find, or I used the derivative about function here. Okay, I factorize cosine power 2x minus sine power 2x to cosine x minus sine x multiplication of cosine x plus sine x over sine x minus cosine x power 2. And we have here cosine x minus sine x. We must write coefficient negative outside x minus sine x multiplication by cosine x plus sine x over, we can change two term here, it will be cosine x minus sine x, and you can cancel one term from the numerator by numerator, and you can write in numerator cosine x plus sine x over cosine x minus sine x. Sine equal cosine, and the integration about sine here will be what? Negative cosine. Here integration about cosine equal negative sine, and derivative about derivative about cosine will be negative sine. The numerator here cosine x, it will be what? The numerator derivative about the numerator, derivative about cosine, it will be negative sine, and sine derivative about sine cosine. So the numerator derivative about the numerator. Okay, then we can find the result. Write len here, absolute value about the numerator cosine x subtract by sine x. Understood? Choose letter C. Choose letter C about this result. Question number 9. If x logarithm e to the base y equal 1. He asked about derivative about y of x. We know e here and x outside. We can write x in the power about e. The result will be logarithm e power x to the base y equal 1. We know y power 1 equal e power x. Then y equal e power x. He asked about derivative of this function. Derivative of this function will be e power x. We can find derivative about this function here, derivative y of x at x equal 1. Put x equal 1, then dy over dx equal e. It will be e. The result will be e. Choose letter E. Question 10. The equation of tangent to the curve y equal e power x at point 1 and e is. He asked about the equation of tangent about this function y equal e power x. We can find the slope about this function, derivative at this point 1 and e. Derivative here about this function dy over dx equal e power x at the point 1 and e, then dy over dx equal e power 1. It will be e. This is the slope, so you can find the equation y minus y1 over x2 x minus x1 equal slope here equal e. Then y minus 1 or e cx and this y minus e over x minus 1 equal e. Then y minus e equal e multiplication by x minus 1, and we can find this equation in the simplest form, y minus e equal ex minus e, and then we can find in the simplest form by cancel negative e by negative e, then y equal ex. It's the equation. Y minus ex equal 0. Choose letter P about this function. Question 11. If a greater than 0 less than b and b less than pi over 2, then integration about ab from a to b, determine integration 10 power 2x dx plus integration a to b sec power 2x dx. Okay, we can find the integration about 10 power 2x, and we can write here, look at here, I will write a to b outside, because 10 power 2 x plus sec power 2 x, we can cancel them and write -1. Why? Look at here, 10 power 2 x plus sec power 2 x dx. We can cancel this function here. 10 power 2 x equal what? Equal sec power 2 minus 1, or sec power 2 x equal 10 power 2 x plus 1. Here we can cancel them. He give us here a to b, and here was b to a, sorry, b to a, and this function here, integration, will be negative. I will inverse this function a to b and write negative here. Okay, my students, I write negative here, and then we can cancel this trigonometric function here, 10 power 2 x, what we can write sec power 2 x minus 1, because sec power 2 x equal 10 power 2 x minus 1. Look at here, I will write the rule here. We know sec power 2 x equal 1 plus 10 power 2 x. So you can cancel 10 power 2 x and write sec power 2 x minus 1 here, and complete negative sec power 2 x dx outside here, and then we can simplify this geometric function here. Sec power 2 x cancelled by sec power 2 x, the result would be -1. So the integration from a to b, -1 dx. The result will be what? It will be -x from a to b. Write b here. It will be negative. Put x equal b. It will be -b. Subtract by negative a. Negative times negative equal positive. The result will be -b plus a. This is the result. Okay, my students. In the first step, we have here plus integration from p to a, not a to b. Look at here, from b to a, and then you can change the determined here from b to a, beginning from a to b, and write negative outside here. And we can cancel 10 power 2 x to sec power 2 x minus 1, because sec power 2 x equal 1 plus 10 power 2 x. And you can cancel sec power 2 x plus or and negative sec power 2 x by them. The result will be -1. Integration this function negative dx equal what? Equal -x, and the determined here by integration from a to b. Write the top, subtract the down. Top here, or beginning from a to b. This is the end of integration. The end p here, it will be -b. Subtract by beginning here a, negative times negative equal positive. The result will be -b plus a. Choose letter D. It will be a subtract by b. Letter D. Choose letter D. Question 12. The volume of the solid generated by revolving the region bounded by the curve of the function y equal x power 2 and the straight line y equal x plus 2. A complete revolution about x axis equal unit of volume. We know the volume about the curve function and the straight line, cut of them. The volume equal by multiplication integration from a to b, y1 power 2, the top function, the curve, or the top function, subtract second function, the down here, power 2 dx. Okay, it's the rule about this function. We have two function of the curve and function about straight line. Y equal x power 2 and y equal x plus 2. We must find the intersection between two equation here. Put y equal 1, y1 equal y2. Okay, put y equal y to find the intersection between two straight line or two function. But this function equals this function, then x power 2 equal x plus 2, and then x power 2 minus x minus 2 equals 0, and you can factorize this function. X times x, 1 times 2, it will be negative and it will be positive, then x equal -1 and x equal 2. So the determined here from -1 to 2, and then you can ask yourself, from -1 to 2, we get any number lies between -1 and 2, and put about first function and second function, and comparing between them to know which curve the top or the straight line the top. Put x equals 0 here, then the result will be 0, and x equals 0 here, the result will be 2. Then this function in the top and this function in the down. If you do know the intersection or drawing this function, you can using this draw here. It's the first function, the curve about y equal x power 2 and x plus 2 here, passing through what x equals 0, then will be y equal 2 here. Okay, and intersection from -1 to 2, we can find the volume about this part here. Write the volume equal by integration from -1 to 2 y here, y2 power 2 is the top, okay, because the result here, when I put in any number lies between -1 and 2 such that 0, in this first function and second function, the result here will be 0, and the result here will be 2, 0 greater than 0. This function in the top, x plus 2 in the top. Then we can write 1 y1 here, x plus 2, it's the first function, it is the second function. Okay, first power 2, subtract second here power 2, x power 2 power 2, it will be x4 dx. And then you can using the calculator to find the result here about the function. The result will be by using calculator. Wait with me, I will close the video and complete with you. Okay, the result here equal 72 over 25. The result will be 72 over 5 by units of volume, okay. Choose letter P. Question 13. He give us y equal x multiplication by ln x subtract 3x, then the minimum value of x plus y equal. Okay, he asked about the minimum value. You must find the derivative about the function and then put the derivative equal 0 to find the minimum value about x plus y. Okay, we have here this function y equal x multiplication and x subtract sine x. What's this function here? Derivative about what he asked about, derivative or the minimum about x plus y. He asked about this function. Put this function equal L. Okay, then L equal plus ky. He asked about derivative about this function. Then L dash here, or dA dL over dx, derivative of this function. Okay, again he asked about the minimum value of x plus y. X plus y here, where we must put y equal ln x plus 3x here. It will be x plus 3, put x here and cancel y, write this function x multiplication ln x minus 3x, and dl by dx equal integration about this function or derivative. Okay, derivative of the function will be 1 plus x multiplication derivative about ln x, it will be 1 over x. First derivative by second, and second ln x derivative by first, it will be 1. Subtract by derivative by negative 3x equals 3. Again, I find derivative about x equal 1, and we have two function multiplication by them. Write first multiplication by derivative by second plus second derivative by multiplication by first, and negative derivative by negative 3x, it will be negative 3. We can cancel x by x. Write 1 plus ln of x here, multiplication by 1, it will be ln of x, and we have here 1 again 1 plus 1 plus ln of x minus 3 equal 1 plus 1 equal 2, 2 minus 3 equal negative 1 plus ln of x. Okay, this function negative 1 plus ln of x, we must put this function equal 0 to find maximum and minimum. He asked about minimum about this function, but this function equal 0. Then ln of x equal 1. Ln of x equal 1, it's meaning what? It's meaning, or we can find x will be e, because ln it's meaning logarithm by e. Then x here equal e, okay, because ln e equal 1, then x equal e. Okay, x equal e, so we can find L here. This function here asked about the minimum value. When x equal e, we must put e in this function here to find the image. But x equal e, it will be e plus x multiplication, x put e here. Len e, cancel x, write e and write e and write e here, here e, e plus len e equal 1. 1 times e equal e, subtract by 3e. The result will be 2e minus 3e equal negative e. The result will be negative e about this function, okay? It's a very important example, okay? You must pay attention about all the steps. You must be punctual about all the steps to know the steps or a new thinking about this example. Okay, pay attention about this step. Let L equal x plus y, and then you can derivative L by x, and then put this function dl over dx equal what? Equal 0 to find value of x. X will be equal e, and then we ask it about the value of x plus y. X plus y equal what? The minimum will be x equal e. It's the minimum. He asked about the value or the image. Don't choose e. We must put e in the function here. Okay, so the result will be negative e. Choose letter e. The result here will be negative a, letter e. Choose letter e. Question 14. If x product y, subtract 8 logarithm e equals 0, this is the second derivative of the function equals 8. We can find the derivative of this function. We know xy will be equal 8 logarithm e. Moving this term to right hand side, and we can write y will be 8 logarithm e over x. We can divide it by x here, and then we can find the derivative of the function. We know 8 multiplication by logarithm e x power negative 1. Then y dash here will be what? We can drop the power here. It will be negative e logarithm e x power negative 2, because it's constant. Logarithm e is constant. It's a number. Okay, my students, don't forget this. Logarithm e, it's the number constant here, and we can write the second derivative here because he asked about second derivative. We can drop the power here. It will be 16 logarithm e multiplication x power negative 3, and you can simplify it. Right here, 16 logarithm e divided by x power 3. Look at here. We know y equal 8 multiplication logarithm e over x. We can simplify this result here, right? Multiplication 2 by e logarithm e over x power 2 multiplication by x. Why? Because we can cancel all this. We can cancel 8 logarithm e here. It's times, okay? It's times, and we cancel 8 logarithm e over x by y. Then the result will be, we can write 2 multiplication by y over x power 2. This is a dangerous example. You must know all steps here and pay attention about these steps. It's very important. First, we can find y equal 8 logarithm over x, and then next step we can find the derivative, first derivative of the function, and the second step find the second derivative of this function, and thinking about the result here give us x and y. So we must put this result by the unknown x and y about variable here in this example. Okay, the result will be 2y over x power 2. Choose letter D. Okay. Question 15. F dash of x represents the function. Give us the function here about f dash of x. It was decreasing here. It lies in the positive. It was negative 3, positive, and was negative. Okay, understood? he give us f dash of x, it's meaning this part from negative infinity to negative 3 will be positive, it will be increasing, and from negative 3 to infinity it will be decreasing. Look at the result here about letter A, it will be increasing and it was decreasing, so we must choose letter A. But letter B here increasing all time, here decreasing and increasing, and here increasing and here decreasing, but this here we haven't find the slope about this point here, we haven't find the slope here, but this example we can find the slope about this point here will be equal 0. When x equal negative 3, the slope here equal negative 0, so we must choose letter A about this example. Question 16, the curve of the function y equal x multiplication e power x plus k has a point of inflection at x equals 0. We can find the first derivative of this function and put the first derivative equal 0 and find x equal what? Okay, he give us has a point of inflection. You can find the second derivative because he give us here inflection point or point inflection second derivative. Okay, okay, look at with me here, we have y equal x multiplication by e power x plus k. We have two function here, x power 1 and e power x plus k. We can find derivative, first derivative here, right, first multiplication derivative by second here, e power x plus k. We can write what? We can write e power x plus k here, because derivative of this function will be itself. And then we can write what? We can write the second here, e power x plus k multiplication derivative by x will be 1. So it's the first derivative about this function. We must know the second derivative because he asked about a point of inflection at x equal. Okay, it's the first derivative. You can write the second derivative here, first multiplication by derivative by second, it will be x e power x plus k, first derivative by second, and second derivative by first, second here derivative by second, plus derivative about this function, it will be e power x plus k. It's the same. Okay, we can eat them. Okay, y double dash here equal 2e, we eat them here, 2e power x plus k plus x multiplication e power x plus k, and then put this function equal 0. We can divide it by 2 or divide it by this number here, because he tell us in the example, or this number e power x plus k not equal 0. We know x plus k not equal 0, so we must divide it by this term, and then 2 plus x will be equal 0, then x will be equal negative 2. Again, we find this result by divided this number because it's constant, it's a number, okay, e power x plus k. He asked about the value of x, where k is a constant. He tell us in the example, look at here, k is a constant, so we can divide it by constant here because this constant equals 0. Question 17, if x equal x power sec y minus 2, then you want to find 8 over root 3 multiplication by dy over dx. Okay, first we must find dy over dx and put the result here and multiplication between them, find the result in the simplest form. Okay, x here and x power function, we can write ln by left hand side and right hand side. Ln x power sec y subtract by 2, but here negative 2, or you can moving negative 2 in the first here and then put, okay, again I will moving here, it will be x plus 2 equal x power sec y, and moving here it will be x plus 2. It's very easy. Okay, and put again I will put here negative 2 moving to left hand side and put ln by left hand side and right hand side. Okay, and then we can find the derivative, but we must drop the power here. Then we can write ln x plus 2 equal sec y multiplication by ln x. Derivative of this function, right, x plus 2 down here, derivative about this function will be 1, and derivative about sec y multiplication ln y first, multiplication derivative by second, and second multiplication derivative by first. Right, sec y here, multiplication derivative about this function will be 1 over x, plus, right, second here, ln x multiplication derivative by sec y. We know sec y, it will be sec y derivative about this function, it will be sec y tan y. Okay, okay. He asked about derivative about this point 2 and by over 3. Right, x equal to here, it will be 1 over 4. And 2 here, it will be 1 over 2 multiplication by sec y. Sec y, it's meaning by over 3, 60. Sec 60, it's inverse about what cosine 60 half, its inverse will be 2 multiplication by half, ln 2 multiplication sec y, it will be 2 multiplication tan 60 root 3. Cancel this, it will be 1 over 4 equal 1 plus 2 root 3 ln 2. Okay, we have here where tan y dash, here y dash, or derivative about this function, right here dy over dx, or y dash here, don't forget it. Moving 1 here, it will be negative 1 plus 1 over 4, it will be negative 3 over 4 equal 2 root 3 ln 2 multiplication y dash, and we can cancel, or 2 times 4 equal 8. To find y dash, write negative here and 3 and cross this term to the numerator using product about extremes equals the product of means. Okay, negative 3 over 8 2 times 4 8, and write root 3 here, ln 2 equal y dash. Okay, and he asked about 8 over root 3 multiplication this term. Put here dy over dx, cancel this, and write negative here, negative 3 over 8 root 3 ln 2. Cancel, root 3 by root 3 equal 3, 3 divided by 3 equal 1, and 8 divided by 8 equal 1. It will be negative ln 2, negative ln 2 y dash, or the result will be negative ln 2. Choose what? It will be negative 1 over ln 2. The result will be negative 1 over ln 2. This number, we have in this number in the choosing here, we have negative ln 2, but the result I get here negative 1 over ln 2. Okay, we can using properties to find the result here about negative ln 2. Write this number here, negative, and 1 over, we know ln 2, it's meaning what? It's meaning log 2 and the base was e, and we can change here because ln, it's meaning log e by 2. We can write the change here in the top, write the result in the top by change or inverse the fraction here, it will be negative, and right here it will be log 2 e, log 2 to the number e. Okay, so the result will be negative log e to the base 2. Again, my students, Look at here, we have negative 1 over ln 2. Ln 2, it's meaning log e to the number 2, or log to the base here. We can find the inverse about this. Look, if we want to find logarithm 2 by the base e, we must change by 2 and e here. Change them, okay? And write log e to base 2. Choose letter P or A. Choose letter E. Sorry, choose letter E about this example. Question 18. Evaluate of the change of the lateral area of cube at a given moment. Numerical equals the rate of change of each length, then the length of the edge of this cube equals base length unit at this point. He give us derivative or the rate change about the lateral area about cube. We know the lateral area about cube equal 4L power 2. And if he give us the total area, we must write 6L power 2 within L reverse to the side length here. We can find the derivative about area, about dA. We can find the rate about T equal 4, and the derivative of this function 2 drop here, 2 times 4 equal 8, L multiplication dL by dt. He tell us derivative here, okay, the range with the rate of the change of the lateral area of the cube moment numerical equals the rate change of the each length. So it will be equal dL over dt. He tell us in this example dA over dt equal dL over dt. So we can cancel dL here about dL by t by this. Then 8L will be equal 1. Understood or not? It will be 1 here, then 1 equal 8L. The length will be 1 over 8. Choose letter B. Question 19. If f of x equal ax minus x power 3, where x belonging to interval from 0 to 4, and f1 is the absolute maximum value of the function. F of 1 is what? The absolute maximum. It's meaning f dash of 1, it will be equal 0. Okay, so about this example we can find f dash of x, it will be a subtract 3x power 2, and this function will be equal 0. Then a minus 3x power 2 equals 0 at x equal 1. Put x equal 1 here, then a minus 3 equals 0, so a will be equal 3. We get here a equals 3. Then the function here f of x equal 3x minus x power 3. Okay, it's f of x. He asked about what? Absolute minimum value. Asked about find the absolute minimum value of the function where a is the constant. So this function we can find the derivative, and then derivative will be equal 0. F dash here equal 0. This function here it will be f dash of x equal 3 minus 3x power 2. This function, okay, 3 subtract 3x power 2, I will put equal 0. Then x power 2 will be equal 1. Then x will be positive or negative 1. Okay, he tell us f of 1 is the max. So maximum at 1, here negative 1 and 1, and write the inverse here about the function here about derivative negative, and here negative, and it was positive. So it will be increasing or decreasing to decreasing here, and increasing here and decreasing. Negative 1 it's minimum, local minimum, okay, and 1 maximum. So the minimum here will be negative 1, negative 1. But he give us in the example the interval 0 and 4. We can find f of 0 and f of 4 and f of negative 1 and f of 1. He tell us f of 1 maximum. He asked about minimum. F of 0, put 0 here is about this function. F of 0 equals 0. f of 1, 3 minus 1 equal 2. F of 0 and 1, okay, it's 1 maximum here. F of 1, it's 1 maximum. About minimum, if negative 1 here, it will be negative 3 plus 3 or plus 1. Negative 3 plus 1 equal negative 2. Again, put negative 1, it was 1, at negative 1, it was 4, sorry, 4. Again, 0 and 4, 0 and 4 and 1 and negative 1. Negative 1 here, I will put negative 1 here, but negative 1 not belonging to the interval, so we can cancel this, it's wrong, okay, because this point not belonging to the interval, okay. And then we must put 4 here. It will be 3 times 4 equal 12, 12 minus 64 equal negative 52. So the minimum value would be negative 52. He asked about absolute minimum value. Absolute minimum value of the function of the constant, it will be 52. The absolute minimum value, it will be negative 52. The result will be negative 52. Question 20. The given figure represents the curve y bar 2 equal 4x where y greater than or equal to 0 and the two straight lines x equal to y and x plus y equal 3. Find the area of the shaded part. خد بالك معايا هنا. Look at with me about this function. We have the curve here and straight line here and straight line here. He asked about area about this part. This part we can find the area about it by divided this part and this part. Okay, so we must find the intersection between this curve y power 2 equal x, then x equal what? X equal y power 2 divided by 4, and here x plus y equal 3. Okay, and x equal 2y here. To find the intersection between the curve and the straight line, we must equal y or put x here. Let x here in this expression to find y power 2 over 4 plus y equal 3. Okay, understood? My students, understood? First, I will find the intersection point between the curve and the straight line. We know the second degree and it was first degree. We must put x equal y power 2 in this equation. Okay, cancel x here. It will be, look at here, we will cancel x and write y power 2 over 4 plus y equal 3, and then multiplication by 4, then y power 2 plus 4y, multiplication here 12, subtract 12 equals 0, and then we can factorize them, y and y, 3 times 4 or 2 times 6 here, and positive and negative, then y will be 2 and y will be negative 6, we cancel it, then y will be equal 2 here, y equal 2. Then you can find x. When y equal 2, then x equal 1. This point will be order A, will be 1 and 2, this point. Then x here will be 1. This point 1 and 0. Okay, x equal 1 here. And then I want to find the intersection between straight line here, x equal 2y, and the straight line x plus y equal x. We can find the straight line to the intersection between them here. X equal to y, put x equal here to y here in this equation. It will be 2y plus y equal 3, and 3y equal 3, then y equal 1. Put y equal 1 here, 1 plus 2 equal 3, then x equal 2, then the point will be 2 and 1. Then here 2. Then you can find the area here will be integration from 0 to 1, from 0 to 1, top subtract by down. Top curve here, we can write what? We can write y. Y we can write it here, y power 2 equal, we can write y power 2 equal 4x cross here, 4x. Then y equal 2 root x. Y equal 2 root x. 2 root x, or y here equal what? X 2x power half, 2x power half. 2x power half. Okay, this curve reverse to 2x power 2 half. Okay, 2x power half, 2x power half, subtract down here y equal x over 2, subtract x over 2. Okay, plus integration about x equal 1 to 2, integration from 1 to top, subtract by down. The top here y equal 3 minus x, moving x from left hand side to right hand side, x minus 3 or 3 minus x is the top, and the down here y equal x over 2, subtract by x over 2 all dx. We can use a calculator to find the integration here. The integration will be what by using calculator? Wait, the result will be 11 over 6. Okay, my students, the result will be 11 over 6. Understood? You must study hard all the time. Okay, my students, goodbye. I will complete all questions with you in the next video. Goodbye.